The clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Remember, guys, I'm fair but I'm firm. Touch him up.
Clearly bothered Calzaghe. He called it.
It's an aggressive move. He ran in with his head down again, as you see right there.
When asked what he would do about Hopkins' supposedly demonstrated penchant, right goes Calzaghe down on a perfect right-hand shot by Hopkins.
Calzaghe proved that in his last fight with Kessler, where he came back.
And there's a trickle of blood on the nose of Calzaghe, right on the bridge of the nose.
Here you see Bernard moving in as if he's going to go into a clinch and shoot a perfect pinpoint short right hand. Couldn't have been any better than that.
No one has a better work rate. He trains as hard as anybody.
Also, Bernard probably, I don't think anybody ever known in boxes.
Every time Calzaghe nears Hopkins, Bernard is reaching out and clutching him with the left arm. There were some British writers who felt as though Cortez didn't give Hatton a chance to do his thing.
Well, Mayweather had a lot to do with that.
Yeah, and I think so far it's Hopkins who's keeping Calzaghe from doing his thing. Calzaghe beginning to get a chance to let his hands go. See the blood again trickling from the little cut on the bridge of...
Both guys are very difficult to land clean punches on. Both of them are very good defensive fighters.
And now Calzaghe goes with the lead left hand down.
The majority of the effective punches have been landed.
When the two fighters are engaged in what...
Bernard's a very cagey guy, and one of his heroes is Benny Briscoe, and he's, who kept his head down, which avoided getting hit, made opponents hurt their hands, but also he's landing very short, accurate punches. Calzaghe is busy, but his punches are more of a slap.
And that's saying something, because Calzaghe's always been able
to mount his offense without getting sucked into Bernard's vortex. He's beginning to feel his way toward that. The crowd boos as Cortez warns Calzaghe. Body shots by Calzaghe. Hopkins drives him away with a counter right.
You got to give him an extra point to round one, just like you said, for the knockout. But Jim, I got to tell you.
But just because you have the numbers doesn't mean you won the round.
big right hand from Hopkins.
But he's very effective with that right hand.
Lacey of the United States a couple of years ago. Other in the ring. The one tight advantage we knew about.
It requests you to do, you don't have to do it mandatorily. When you come to the arena, I think they said Calzaghe weighed 181 tonight.
Southpaw against a conventional fighter, the lead feet.
Comfortable with the rhythm and flow of the fight, and it's setting the tempo, and Bernard is
doing comfortable and ready to start really doing his thing. I'm surprised when he does that, Hopkins doesn't punch.
Don't hold that down.
Assertedly covering up inside to make sure Hopkins didn't land anything, and avoiding it inside.
But you know, Jim, as you said, the more identifiable punches.
Knocked out really for the most part, Robert Allen.
Hopkins' defense, he talked about before the fight, the old Jersey Joe Walcott, turning, starting to take that Walcott posture.
Earlier, Calzaghe landed a good straight left hand to the body and the left upstairs. Calzaghe getting in more punches and a good left hand that clocks Hopkins before the bell.
He's coming in, but he doesn't have any power. His punches are just a little flurries inside. He would throw one punch and then smother you right away after that. So it can be a very rough fight to score.
Landing more solidly, landing more consistently than in the first two rounds. Bernard Hopkins catching Joe Calzaghe.
When Bernard goes forward, because Bernard runs in with his head down every time.
Hard right hand body shot by Hopkins amid a flurry by Calzaghe.
Although they're caught Calzaghe.
Good left hand counter by Bernard there. Hopkins coming forward with his head.
He could easily, by moving and boxing in and out a little bit, he could fight a much smarter fight.
Now Calzaghe starts to get the kind of spirited combat he wants. Cortez throws Calzaghe to the floor, pulling him off.
The last 3 rounds, I thought Joe Calzaghe's aggressiveness is only a 1-point difference because Hopkins has that extra point for a knockdown. Landed a lot of straight left hands. He's just landing more clean, effective shots.
He still could do a little bit more by making Bernard fall off balance because Bernard fights with his head to the floor.
You have a lot of swing rounds, and it's difficult to come to a conclusion as to who won the fight.
You're right. I agree with you. Another knockdown.
Well, I think it's also possible that the 3rd round, which Harold Letterman gave to Hopkins, could...
No, and for those ancient in boxing.
And you know, it's amazing too. I've never saw, and he didn't have much experience. And we saw the fights with Jermaine Taylor. Amazing man.
Well, he spent 17 years fighting in the 160-pound weight class.
And still, he was very weak making 160. He's been a light heavyweight a long time.
Calzaghe scores a rally along the ropes. The best way to make Bernard Hopkins fight offensively is to go hit him, as Calzaghe is doing.
That's what I was saying right there. Calzaghe almost was knocked down again.
Which evens the fight on his scorecard. Walking this man down, you can knock him out. When's the last time?
It's back when he's back to Antoine Edwards. I thought was his last really aggressive fight. Even when he patiently waited his time. He lost the early part of the fight then. He's always been patient since then.
By a right-hand counterpunch from Hopkins.
Them both do one dirty punch apiece and leave them alone. But Calzaghe just slapping with his punches.
There's a solid left from Calzaghe. Hopkins lands his right. He knows every trick to make himself difficult to hit. Calzaghe constantly trying to apply pressures, trying to speed the tempo of the fight, trying to make the 43-year-old man fight, and now showboating around the ring. Beginning to pay off. Hopkins 15 out of 38, Calzaghe 22 out of 65. The urgency of the issue is portrayed.
But he still ought to be good straight left.
Good straight left hand by Calzaghe. Hopkins gets in the right hand counter, but reminds me at this point of the hitter. He's trying to take the simplest, shortest cut possible to find the ball.
Meticulously prepares his game plan. Improvisational ability is what we're seeing here.
Joe was rolling with the punch.
And he's coming right back and not letting Bernard really take the play. And Bernard is having a time, trying to time and figure his rhythm out.
Oh, stop, right there, stop.
Punches that are making the sweat fly.
Another straight left hand for Hopkins.
He's never been pressured like this. Nobody's ever pressured him in a fight. Trinidad, Oscar always...
Calzaghe's improvisational quality. More and more as the fight has gone on.
Calzaghe, the aggressive guy, and Bernard throwing fewer and fewer punches.
He pulls Calzaghe's head down.
Yep. That was not an intentional low blow by no means, and it really wasn't that bad.
Takes place in April.
Maybe it was debilitating.
Joe Cortez there explicitly stating, I'm not trying to take any points. Reminders that he'll do whatever he has to do.
Calzaghe is taking big leaps forward, but he can easily time him when he says he's running in now.
Looks like Hopkins needed a breather.
This round may be on the table as we come to the last 10 seconds. And both guys let their hands go. But
Younger, faster, higher volume of punches. Would outwork Bernard and win a close decision. Question now is, can the great old fighter pull something out of his bag of tricks?
The third is a judge from Illinois whose record is not all that intelligible to us as the fight progresses toward the decision.
The great conditioning coach. His old, tired arms were just unable to keep up with Calzaghe's.
Michael Spinks, preparing him to win the title from Larry Holmes, was Roy Jones, moving way up to a heavyweight.
There'll be no penalty. Cortez says go right ahead and fight.
But might there be retaliation?
Hopkins trying to retaliate with his big right hand.
You know, but in the corners, Hopkins' corner feels he's ahead, and Calzaghe's corner seems to feel Calzaghe's behind.
Keep him motivated and keep him going.
Early swing rounds, depending on whose favor they go in, might determine the fight.
Good left hand by Calzaghe.
Here we are in the final one, and they're both fighting hard.
As I always say, the Nevada judges consistently like guys who force a fight.
It was a given when you compare their styles. It certainly looked in the first few rounds as though it was more than possible.
That knockdown in round one.
That no point was ever deducted for the 2 times that the fight was stopped because of low blows by Calzaghe.
The predator in this fight is definitely Calzaghe. He set the tempo all the way.
In the light heavyweight division after an epic career as a middleweight. As the seconds tick away. And they fight past the bell.
To the winner by split decision from Newbridge, Wales, still undefeated, and now recognized by Ring Magazine as the new linear light heavyweight champion of the world, Joe